Welcome to your Conscious Choices for Wellness podcast, hosted by B. Crutelli. This is a space for everyone to learn anything and everything related to healthy healing, including naturopathic medicine, music, dance, yoga, meditation, eco-fashion, mothering, and organic lifestyle choices. Topics for expanding universal consciousness. Come join me weekly as we delve in and begin this journey, sharing valuable content gathered over the past 3 decades, helping to support a healthier and more sustainable future for all. Hello and welcome, beautiful souls, to today's episode. In this episode, we will be going over how to recognize divine signs, signals from the universe that we are going in the right direction, or maybe that we need to shift and make a change, switch things up, like I like to say. So, is it a time for change? We are constantly experiencing change throughout our lives. And in my life, personally, I have gone through so many changes. I feel like it's just like hard to keep up with at times, especially with all the moving that my life has entailed. And it's just constantly never a dull moment. I can't even imagine the last time I experienced quote unquote boredom. I know I was a child. Sometimes children think that they don't have anything to do, right? And maybe, this is something I just thought of since I grew up in the 70s and the 80s before cell phones. We had to, be more creative, and we had to think of things that we were going to do and not just grab a phone and be scrolling through a phone, which so many way too young of children are doing in this day and age. And we had to find things, right? We had to find our friends outside to play with, or use our imagination, be creative. Maybe our parents helped us to get into things, to, learn and to be creative if we had that opportunity. But now it's a much different time. And I think that kids may feel that sense of boredom and they don't know what to do with it. And so they just, have access to picking up a device and escaping that way, and using that as maybe their outlet where they should be creating and using their imagination more. And I feel like if you do that at a young age, you probably have an advantage, and that's a whole nother discussion, right? In many ways, you can have an advantage, an upper hand in life to navigate and maybe, find your purpose, find who you are, maybe younger, start doing the things that you love at a younger age, really know who you are. But right now, I want to focus on navigating change and tools that we can do that, and ways that we can see or get signals from the universe of making change, or knowing that we're, on the right path. So if you're honest with yourself, you'll know. If you're content inside, you'll know as well, right? Are you feeling well-being, aka balance? That's what I call it. If we're feeling a sense of well-being, then we are usually more in balance. We know when we're not feeling balanced or a sense of well-being, then we are possibly feeling anxious, stressed, just unconsciously unaware of what's happening, and we need to become more grounded. And so if you take an inventory of the major areas of your life and you're not happy with how things are feeling, then it's probably time for a change. Notice how you feel in each area, whether it's work, relationships, activities, even what you are consuming food wise. Media content, sounds, vibrational energies, etc. You get me? Living within our quote unquote North Star. What exactly does this mean? Have you heard of this? What does your North Star mean? This is when we are living our true life's purpose out, why we came here, what gifts we have to offer. Are there any blocks in place keeping us from achieving our fullness of living? There are key principles to fulfill this North Star alignment. How we are feeling inside. This is related to how we take care of our body. Are we getting proper sleep, enough nutrients, enough exercise, feeling loved? Are we feeling human and alive? What are our core relationships like? So assessing that, whether that's relationships with the friends that we have, with our family members, with, coworkers, with maybe an intimate relationship that we may or may not have. Like, what are those core relationships like that we deal with on a daily or weekly basis? Connections to others, self included, and to the universe, spiritual or not. There are many whom I've heard say humans are a disappointment. Yes, we can be disappointing to one another, upsetting to each other at times. I feel we can agree that we have all felt lack from somehow in how they are showing up, right? The other people in our lives. It can just be a disappointment. This is why we need to take the focus off of others and look within. Always start here with self-reflection. Expectations of others will almost always let us down in some way. Remembering that who we surround ourselves with influences who we are energetically, to say the least. Source, aka universe, or God consciousness, is pure though, always teaching us, guiding us when we listen or are in touch. Being in touch with this inner connection of knowing from source can be challenging for sure. It's a constant practice and tougher with more distractions. So if we're, constantly distracting ourselves with, different devices, whether that be television, whatever media source, social media, scrolling too much, distracting ourselves by maybe doing other things that aren't really health related, just outlets that aren't necessarily the healthiest outlets, and even distractions with people that maybe aren't the healthiest people to be surrounding ourselves with, we are going to get farther away from that source consciousness. And it is a practice. It should be a daily practice on some level, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes a day will be helpful. So maintaining core healthy relationships with other living beings is crucial to our own well-being. Sometimes we need to switch things up a bit, rock the boat just enough to get out of our current circumstances. This is okay. Many of us are being led by our fears, being stuck in situations that we feel we can't change. So many factors, yet so many roads to take if change is needed. Choices are right in front of us constantly, though. Understanding how to react in the moment will only help one make each choice sustainably. Personally, my human design shows that I need to pause before making a decision, to not be reactive in the moment. I need more time for my intuition, to listen, to feel, to what's right, than asking myself if that choice is a full body yes. And if it is not, then it is probably most likely the wrong path, and I've gone down that path way too many times before. Passion and drive for purposeful meaning every day is essential for living our best life. If you feel boredom, lack, despair, or even depression, then there is most likely a deep down need for change that's calling out within you. We aren't meant to be here and feel lack or despair. Of course, feelings are part of being and messages of what we are experiencing. Are we learning, growing, and evolving here? We may be feeling lack if we are not fulfilling what we need to learn and do. Again, our purpose. Each of us is unique. I believe we are all here for a reason, to share, teach, support, learn, and grow with one another. So, how are we feeling in this day? Checking in with yourself. Where is an area in your life that needs attention? What can be strengthened? Will working on or putting in some effort to shine light on this area bring me joy, bring me more peace? Here are some divine signs of guidance. When you are thinking, feeling, or doing something in alignment or out of balance and you notice, maybe numbers, consistent patterns that keep showing up in various ways are considered to be angelic numbers or your angel numbers, right? We all have different ones. For me, I do have, the ones, the 11s come in on a daily, and also fours. And four has always been a special number to me. And I even named my angel, because I feel like I do have an angel, and I named my angel 44 last year. I was listening to this podcast that was talking about, that we all have angels, and you can really get in touch with your angel. You can even name, your angel, give it a name, that if that helps. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And so soon after that, I thought that was a good idea. And I was thinking, oh, what would it be? What would it be? And then I saw this kind of like a symbol of 44 come out of this basket that I had in my kitchen, and it just looked like, as I was asking that, it just popped out at me, and I was like, okay, I love the number 4. I love 44 is always even better, and so I was like, okay, 44, why not? So the angel numbers, they will appear in the most mundane environments because the spiritual universe is intentionally offering a gentle reminder that you are moving through something greater than any day-to-day circumstance could ever express. You're on a mission, and this is most likely the confirmation of a purpose, especially when the road ahead feels foggy and unknown. The presence of an angel number can feel like a warm embrace, right? It's like a confirmation, like I'm here with you and it's okay, or noticing when it happens and taking that into account, like maybe you're thinking something or doing something and then the numbers come up, the repeated numbers come up, and you're like, oh, okay, that's like confirmation that I am doing whatever I just thought about, or whatever action I'm doing right now, that's like the right thing to be doing. So I've done a little research on this, and yes, this is true. And so, just keep, noticing that. And it's like a warm embrace. It's very, very nice to feel that confirmation, especially from a higher power and source, that you're on the right path, or maybe you need some more guidance at the time. So it's really good to have that and give thanks for it. Animals, spiritual totems, walking, and a certain creature crosses your path, sitting outside, and you notice you have a reaction with a bird, a squirrel, lizard, deer, or even a honeybee. What may this being be telling you without words? Remember that we are all connected. And when I've been in darker times of my life, I've had interactions with some darker underworld beings like foxes and coyotes. These were messengers that may have been speaking to me to change, transform, and go within. Joyful peace in the present moment is definitely a sure sign that you are on the right path in any given moment, right? If you're feeling that truly sense of being alive, like you're doing what you truly love, in this moment, feeling balanced in alignment with who you are. Another sign could be hearing directly from source through sounds like a song. In dreams, in meditation, you may hear a voice. This is okay. Even better, this is amazing and a huge blessing, one not to take for granted or fear. So, what are some ways to navigate through the signs and feel grounded in changes that shift our lives? If you notice numbers coming up that seem extra, this is real. Don't ignore them. Give thanks. Then reflect on what's happening in that moment. If you encounter an animal, insect, reptile, bird, etc., that seems profound in the moment, pay attention to this, as it could be another sign. Get yourself an animal spirit book or a tarot deck for referencing these interactions. Notice when you are feeling at peace, experiencing more joy, sense of ease in life. Journaling when this happens. This is reflection time. Even notice what you are consuming that day that may be helpful. Meditations, dream states, ego death experiences, listening to music, and then getting signals that feel deeply guided and feel intuitive to make a change or choice. Listen more, journal, make small steps toward what you heard. Clarity to change happens in so many ways, as does everything, right? How about being in tune with your gut, aka your intuition? Making daily steps towards better literal gut health, nourishing our core body health can only strengthen our choices for healthier decisions towards more sustainable changes in life. Focus on healthy gut bacteria for your microbiome that connects us to the earth. I spoke on this before a podcast that I did earlier this year. You can find that in my episodes. I don't remember what episode it was, but I think I had a part 1 and a part 2 on this. Very, very important. And here's a pro tip. Feeling scattered, not knowing, or indecisive, which I have felt many times, there is a flower essence called walnut. Flower essences are vibrational medicines that have been around. They were discovered by Dr. Bach back in around 1930. I'm not sure it was 1930 or in the 30s, but I think it was Edward Bach, he was a physician way back then. That was almost 100 years ago now. And he discovered these vibrational flower remedies. They are remedies that basically taste like water. They have just like a tiny bit of alcohol for preservative, but they are extracted from flowers in a very special process, kind of like homeopathy, but they're really just used as a vibrational medicine. So these flowers, very specific flowers that have been found, probably maybe all flowers, but the specific ones that have been found thus far by a few different physicians, work on an energetic level with our emotions. So this is very amazing medicine. It is so easy to take. You just take a couple drops under the tongue a couple times a day, and it will help you with specific emotions that you are dealing with that you need to work through. So walnut, yes, from the walnut tree, from the flower, is something that is used for indecisiveness, for making decisions, for like strengthening your intuition, right? And going the right way with a choice. And it is used for those overly sensitive to outside influences. I'm a very overly sensitive individual, so I'm sure that this could help me. I have used it in the past. And it also provides stability and protection during any period of change, helping you stay true to yourself and not allow you to get blown off course, especially if you are very susceptible to asking for advice from others, listening to others. Maybe they want to tell you what to do, and you're not really listening to yourself, right? To your real intuition, and you get swayed by various other outside influences that could stray you away from your true path. So, this is a great remedy for that you can check out. It's pretty easy to find, although which most things are pretty easy to find nowadays. I will put a link in the show notes. So ask. This is a final note here today, is asking, how does my life need to change? Okay, we don't know how long we're going to be here, but in this time, whatever time I have left here, how does my life need to change? Even asking source that when you get up in the morning or before you go to bed. Your purpose is a solid one we may need to find. It's associated with an overall sense of well-being and fulfillment. And that's how we know, when we feel that overall sense of well-being and we feel filled up with joy and peace and love, then we know that we're probably on the right path. And that could change too at any time, right? There's things that come in, and we're supposed to learn more lessons, and there's just so much in life. It's just never a dull moment. But if we're like living a life that really doesn't feel fulfilled, and we have a lack of joy, then we're probably not on the right path. So it's okay to switch things up, and sometimes we just need a little help. And I thank you for listening today, and I really appreciate you for being here. Please drop a like or comment wherever you are, and I will see you all next week. Love and peace to you. Bye. Thank you all so very much for listening today. I genuinely hope that you learned something, and I invite you to join me each week so you never miss a conscious wellness beat. This podcast holds a special place in my heart dedicated to my evolution here, my passionate mission to spread more consciousness for the much needed wellness on Earth. Come join me as a guest as well. Let's collaborate, making change for future generations.